Hello, this is Uncle Russ. Welcome to Uncle Russ's Comic Talk. Today we're going to be talking about some comic books that we have for sale at Lot 22 Sellers, which you can find on eBay. We'll also be talking about some other aspects of comic book collecting. Glad you're with us today. Stay tuned. First up today, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, number 358. One of the things I love about this is you have a beautiful three-part gatefold cover by Al Milgrom and Mark Bagley. This issue features guest appearances by The Punisher, Night Thrasher, Darkhawk, Nova, and Moon Knight. Part 6 of 6 of the Sidekick story. It also features Thunderball, one of the bad guys from the Wrecking Crew, one of my personal favorite villain teams in the Marvel Universe. Interiors by Al Milgrom, Mark Bagley, and Randy Emberland. This is a bargain, can be yours today for only $5.99. Next, we have Batman, number 371. Batman versus Catman. Now, everybody knows about Catwoman. Fewer people know about Catman. Actually a very formidable foe of Batman. Let me show you the splash page. Give you a little bit better view of Catman there. This is a classic story. Doug Mensch, art by Don Newton, one of the best Batman artists, with inks by Alfredo Alcala. Cover there by Ed Hannigan and Dick Giordano. This Batman adventure can be yours today for the low price of $8.99. Next, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, issue number 21. Faith part 1 of 3, great storyline. This was a excellent series, spun off obviously from Batman and Detective Comics, giving us slightly darker, more mature themed adventures of the Caped Crusader. This one is written by Mike W. Barr with art by Bart Sears and Randy Elliott. Love that cover. This was a great series which has been revived several times and with other numbering since then. But this is where a lot of the Dark Knight themed Batman stories really began, spinning off from the 1970s version. This is a real bargain today, only $2.99. Next up, a classic bit of Marvel Comics history. Captain America, number 180, going all the way back to 1974, featuring the origin and first appearance of Steve Rogers in his new identity as Nomad. Written by Steve Englehart with art by Sal Buscema and the always great Vince Colletta. This one is interesting. Steve Rogers was so fed up with politics in America in 1974. It was so bitter and so divisive. He was sick of it. He had enough. He was ready to give up on being Captain America. Boy, if he only knew how things were going to progress since 1974. Anyway, this is a highly sought after first appearance, a key issue of Captain America in great condition. Yours today for $54.99. Next, a special bicentennial issue of Captain America. Captain America issue number 200. Those of us that lived through the bicentennial year of 1976 remember how everything had bicentennial stamped on it. Everything you could imagine, from Budweiser cans to comic books, had American flags all over it. Liberty Bells, you name it. There was a lot of money made during the bicentennial year. And this is a very interesting issue. For the bicentennial, Marvel bought back one of the original co-creators of Captain America from the Golden Age, the one and only Jack Kirby. This issue, including the cover, is entirely edited, written, and drawn by Jack Kirby, with interior inks by Frank Giacoia, all the way back from August 1976. Yours today for only $19.99. And something a little bit different. from 1983. The 1980s, many will remember as the rise of the many independent comic book companies that gave serious competition to Marvel and DC, or the Big Two as they're sometimes referred to. First Comics was one of those. This is the first issue of Warp, a little bit different, actually based upon plays by Stuart Gordon and Barry St. Edmund. Frank Brunner did the adaptation and the pencils. Peter Gillis wrote the script. Bob Smith was the inker. Very interesting little kind of offbeat comic book. Not too many comic books based upon plays, let alone science fiction, space opera type plays. This is Warp #1, only $2.99.
Hello, everybody. It's Ben Shrewsbury.
This is Uncle Russ.
And we are the Two Marks from the Two Marks and a Spark Wrestling Show right here on Lock 22. Be sure to check us out every single Sunday and sometimes Monday for all your professional wrestling needs, only on youtube.com/Lock22.
And our final offering for sale today, Wolverine #2. This is from Wolverine's very first 4-part miniseries from 1982. Frank Miller did the cover and the interior pencils. Joseph Rubinstein on inks. And the incomparable Chris Claremont, probably the greatest X-Men writer of all time. This is a classic series. These original copies are highly sought after. This is considered some of Frank Miller's best work and some of Wolverine's best stories. This is yours today, and it's a bargain at $34.99. One of the more interesting and more expensive, but still interesting formats in which comic book collecting has evolved in recent years is the omnibus. These bad boys are hefty. These are expensive. I've got two $100 books here. This is an example of Marvel. This is the Defenders, Volume 1. On the back, you'll see all of the different original copies, which are reprinted here in this issue. I picked up this one because Defenders was always my favorite Marvel superhero team. Here you have the original group of Hulk, Namor, the Submariner, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, Valkyrie. This also contains the Avengers Defenders War, which many collectors consider to be the very first Marvel crossover. Always take off the dust jacket, and be sure in these kind of books you want to stretch the spine, embossed backs and fronts. And these are oversized, much larger than the size of a individual comic book. These books are beautifully done, always restored art, digitally restored, remastered, usually with the original cover, sometimes with remastered colors. To show you an example, here's the size of a standard comic book. It's a little bit more size, gives a little bit more detail to those pages. Also, this is one of my favorites. The Silver Age Green Lantern Omnibus, Volume 1. Many modern readers have a hard time with Silver Age writing. It was a very different time, very different style. The comic books were targeted much more for a younger audience, for children. However, if that is your viewpoint, I highly recommend that one of the best places to start with the Silver Age is Silver Age Green Lantern. These are simplistic but science fiction stories. I've heard a lot of people that claim that they don't like Silver Age comics at all. That Silver Age Green Lantern is, quote, pretty dope. A lot of very good science fiction concepts, Another one that would be a good one to start with would be Barry Allen as the original Flash. There are so many omnibus coming out nowadays. Marvel does a lot more than DC does, but there are several every month, and the prices range anywhere from $75 up to $150 per volume. When they get that expensive, I never get all these at cover price. Everything that I get has at least a 15 to 20% discount at minimum. I know the Green Lantern I got for 50% off. So if you shop around, there's ways to save a lot of money. But also the nice thing is that all of these individual comics that I have now, since I have them in such a sturdy, permanent format, I can sell all of the individual copies, which I will be doing in the future right here on Uncle Russ's Comic Talk. I want to remind you that if you want to look at any of the items offered for sale today, go to the links in the description, go to eBay. You can take a closer look at them. If you have questions, email us. We'd be happy to communicate with you to combine any offers together to save on shipping. And if you want to make an offer on anything, we'll consider any offer. We'll also want to let you know that we now have comic book hero and science fiction action figures available. We have science fiction books, hardbacks and paperbacks, much more coming at Lock 22 Sellers on eBay. Also want to remind you to watch myself and co-host Ben Shrewsbury every Sunday here on Lock 22 Productions, which you'll find on YouTube, for Two Marks and a Spark pro wrestling commentary. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Hopefully you found something that you liked today. If you'd like to purchase any of these books, check for the links in the description below. There'll be more books for sale every week. Lock 22 Sellers on eBay. Lock 22, have a good day. Lock